Welcome to Belfast Worm Farmer episode 18. You're all very welcome.
We're sat in the garden in a beautiful sun, which is a change for Belfast. Normally Belfast is very wet and miserable, as some of you may know. Some of our followers live locally, so they don't know what we're talking about, but yeah, there's beautiful clear skies for a change. It's been about 12 degrees today, ambient temperature, but actually felt warmer because there's been no breeze at all. We've got a few updates and a few checks to do. A check on the orange that we put in the bin last week, see how that's getting on, and we set up a new bin which is up here, so we'll check on that and see how that's going. In the last video you'll remember that it was quite dry, so we added a lot of moisture. We've got some new huge great big polystyrene worm bins that we're going to start setting up today as hatcheries. The idea of that is that we'll put the cocoons in it, and then we'll keep them bins slightly warmer than the other bins, and then that should bring the cocoons on quicker, so more baby worms for us. And then we're also going to add some paper pulp, dried paper pulp, which Harry's got there, which is what we shredded in one of the videos. Check it out. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll get the bins open and we'll see what's what, and we'll talk you through what's going down on the farm. How does that bin look then, Harry? Is it wet enough now?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Let's have a little rummage around to see if there's any worms activity.
There's a cocoon there.
There's a cocoon there already. Just point it at there, Harry, so people can see it. Oh, no. There it is, there's a cocoon there. Cool. Right, no fading or anything required of that one, so that one will just be leaving like that. Oh, lots of activity over there with the big juicy worms. Yeah, that's really good. Worms are really starting, with the warmer temperature, the worms are really starting to munch on it now. That bin there is full of worms and big worms. Lots of cocoons too. Right, that one doesn't need feeding today either. See if you zoom down to this bit. See if you do get anything growing in your worm bin. It's not a problem at all. You'll find that the worms will be attracted to the roots for some reason. So if you see things growing in there, we just tend to leave it because it's not doing any harm at all. So, look at the worms inside the cocoon there. Pretty cool. Okay. Someone on Instagram, one of our followers on Instagram, was talking about banana leaf. This banana leaf that I'm trying to pick up here has been in there 8 weeks, and as you can see, it's still very fibrous. It's not broke down at all. We're not sure what the yellow mold is. Doesn't seem to be doing any issues, so we'll just leave it. This down here is what dragon fruit does after 2-3 weeks of being in there. It just goes to a big slimy mess, big slimy ball. Worms in there are doing very well as well. So
there's also a cocoon just there.
Yeah. Seeing cocoons in your worm bin is a good sign that you've got a healthy bin. Another one with banana leaf in it, just that we tried. Again, nothing's really happened with this. It does keep the bin moist, but it doesn't do anything. I'm scared, Daddy. Yeah. Lots of cocoons in this one. Big juicy worms. Well, he doesn't want to come out. That's a banana. That's a dragon fruit in there.
What is that?
I'm not quite sure if it's a millipede or a centipede. I'll have to check up and just see whether they're okay to put in there or not. So this was the bin that we put the orange in a few weeks back. So let's just check on it. That's a good sign. Actual cocoons in the orange there. That was a blood orange we put in a few weeks back. Lots of growy things in this one, but look at the worms in there, Harry. Look how big fat these. That was probably the biggest worm of our bin. Yep. I still think we're overfeeding because there's still a lot of food, but not the end of the world, is it?
No.
Nope. Right. That's cool. Right. happy with them bins.
There's loads of stuff growing in there.
Yeah, loads of worms in there too. Lots of worms copulating in there too. Sorry guys, didn't mean to disturb you. This bin we're going to try putting some paper pulp on the top. Or cardboard pulp. This is egg boxes that we shredded in a shredder. We're hoping that the worms eat this stuff much better. Just add a little bit of moisture to that just to be on the safe side. Again, lots of things growing in that. This one's got some really, like some, like stringy fungus in there of some description. Loads of big juicy worms in this one. Look at them juicy worms there. Oh, did I drop one?
I don't think you did.
Look at the size of this bad boy here.
Ooh, he's big.
Like, I'm an adult man and like I don't have tiny hands, but look at the size of that worm there.
That's big.
In a previous video we did let on that we were going to start selling these in the summer. We've had people inquire about them already. Our intention is to actually sell the worms, but we'll worry about that soon. This bin's very damp at the top, so we'll add some paper pulp to this one. Try and soak up some of that excess moisture. Why don't you overfeed worms? Why don't you overwater worms, Harry?
Because then if we give it too much water, then they'll dry.
Yeah, that's right. Worms like it moist will need it moist, but not too moist that they drown in it. They breathe through their skin, not through their mouths. Right, this bin is almost ready for harvesting. Where we've reduced the food into the bins lately, you'll notice that the castings or the worm poo is starting to build up. So the worms will be in like the top inch of it. So when we harvest this bin, we'll get all of the cocoons out. Right. There's loads of cocoons just in that tiny amount that I've picked out, and that's where the hatcheries will come into play.
This is the one we put some avocado in. That's look. There's some worms in there. There's also just a cocoon just there. And one there, there, and there.
Yeah, lots of cocoons. Seeing cocoons in your bin is a good sign that something's going right. There you go, look at that big handful of worms I just pulled out of there.
Whoa. And there's also a cocoon there and there.
Cool. Right, do you want to sprinkle some paper pulp onto that one, or cardboard pulp? Brilliant, that will soak up any excess moisture.
That?
It's a bit of a bark or tree or something. I don't know, it's just a bit of wood of some description.
The company who gives us these boxes, they've gave us some more boxes.
So how many is that in total now? Can you remember?
42.
We have 42 boxes. Not all of them have worms in it, but we do have 42 boxes. And we've now worked out how to get these boxes, which I'm going to lift up now. Harry's going to demonstrate how big it is.
It's nearly as tall as me.
Yeah. Turn it round so it goes that way. There we go. They smell of fish, but we don't care. Right. I've just been notified from the other half that we've got 51 subscribers now on our channel.
Yay!
Awesome. Thank you to everyone that keeps subscribing, liking and comment. It's been fantastic adventure so far, and we're going to continue, and hopefully when we reach the milestone of 100 subscribers, we've got something big and exciting planned for you all. Thank you. Right, the idea of the hatchery is that we'll put compost and worm castings in the bottom, and we'll just put all the cocoons from all of the bins behind us and the other shed, and the hatchery will be kept slightly warmer, with the intention that whether it's slightly warmer, within 21 days all of the cocoons will hatch out, and then we'll end up with a great big tray of little worms. With a hatchery, it's about surface area, not depth. Well, with all wormeries, it's more surface area rather than depth is the most important thing. So these the new boxes will be absolutely ideal for bringing on the worm cocoons into baby worms, and then that way we'll be able to raise our stock much quicker. That's the intention. Anyway, that's all for today. We hope you enjoyed it, but first of all, just want to shout out to Big Tony. He's a good friend of ours, and he's really loving our videos, and his daughter Teresa Marie is very excited about our videos, and we're gonna give her a wormery for her house. Don't think Tony and his wife will appreciate that, but yeah, we'll sort something out for her. Thumbs up to Teresa and Tony. Awesome. But that's it. That's the end of today's video. If you'd like to subscribe, then click up here somewhere.
There.
And if you want to see any other videos, they'll be up there. Don't forget to leave comments below, and don't forget to hit that little bell for notifications. Thanks very much.